Every artist's dream is to get a bunch of commissions and make absolute bank. Who wouldn't want a bunch of money for drawing a white wolf persona in a maid outfit? This video isn't made to make anyone feel bad about dropping out on commissions or some life circumstance happening making it to where they can't pay, or other situations like that. I'm simply just saying that some circumstances that I'm going to talk about are happening way too frequently, and they make me very mad. Situation number 1. Nothing irks me more, nothing tickles my pickle more, than when people commission you, and then as soon as you send them the sketch, they just completely ghost you, and then they just never talk to you again. Why on planet Earth would you do that? I cannot fathom that. Why would you sit here and go through the process of making me draw you something, critiquing it, and then when I send you the sketch, you're like, you know what? I'm just not gonna reply. Ghosting is such a huge issue. I swear to God, everyone who does commissions has had at least one person ghost them and just hasn't gotten paid. It was so frequent on Amino, I swear to God, and it's the other way around too. I've paid people for commissions and they just never got back with me. There's someone who has literally been on hold for a year. I paid them $6 and they still have yet to even message me back. And I know it's lost, but like it's so irking. Like, God, why open commissions if you're not gonna respond? Why make me pay you if you're gonna ghost me? Why on God's green earth, vice versa, would you commission someone and then not respond when they're done with your sketch? Why is ghosting so frequent? Part of this issue is that a lot of people who commission me are minors, and I swear to God, minors are the absolute worst when they're 14 and under and they don't understand how money works. But also, I think it's just an issue of since you're on the internet, therefore all responsibility is just completely levitated off your shoulders, and therefore it's not your problem. And I can understand this to a degree. I myself try pretty darn hard if I'm not going to meet a quota or I just have a situation pop up to just say, hey, you know what? This isn't going to work out. My apologies. Why is that so difficult to do for some people? It's 5 freaking words at minimum. Like, you're going to be okay. You can communicate. It's not impossible. Situation number 2. I find it absolutely hilarious that when you make a TOS list, or perhaps a list describing your services, what you will and won't do, and then you link it to someone, they will absolutely refuse to read it in any capacity and then get mad when you don't do the things you said you won't do. I'm on an art server, so these problems frequently pop up. Like, I swear to God, I've gotten so many DMs where someone was like, hey, this person commissioned me, they didn't read my TOS, and now they're forcing me to refund them through PayPal. Why can't people just read the TOS? And then they're like, well, I'm paying you money, so your TOS doesn't matter, you need to follow what I'm saying. No, that's not how that works. That's not how any viable business works. There's a reason why there's a TOS on literally every functioning business and what they will and won't do. There's a reason, and I swear to God, it's so stupid to me, because people are like, I like it when the person I'm commissioning has clear outlines and rules, so that way I know what I can and can't ask for. And then they proceed to completely ignore that and do everything wrong. Like, why would you do that? Situation number 3. I find it very funny that people completely ignore age restrictions when it comes to commissioning. I swear to God, I've had so many people under the age of 12 contact me, and they're like, hey, I have my dad's credit card, hit me up. I had someone on Amino offer on a character, and they were valued at around $75, but I kind of made it a little clear that I didn't want to sell that particular character, and their response to that was like, I will literally give you $130 right here, right now, it's my birthday, my dad said I can buy it with his card, and I was like jaw on the floor, like, oh my God. I understand there's nothing inherently wrong with young minors involving themselves in the art community and buying characters. However, when I have a big fat age restriction on my page that says if you are under 12 years old, do not interact with me in any possible way, and you completely ignore that and then proceed to put me in a very uncomfortable situation because of it, yes, I'm going to complain about it, because why on God's green earth do I have to deal with that? And yes, I know they're a young minor, so they can't quite understand that, but also I feel like it's not that hard to read. If you're 12, don't interact with me. It's very simple language, and it's basic English. Situation number 4. Some people are just inherently rude, and I swear to God, I've had people commission me that are just outright vile, and they just say the meanest stuff out of absolutely nowhere for no reason. I feel like sometimes Satan possesses these people and just makes them act in such a way that is so gross and so weird and so disturbing that not even God himself could fix it, because I swear to God, some of these people are so wild. I've had people threaten to leak my IP address. I've had people threaten to find photos of me online and send them to other people in a way to make me feel like I was getting blackmailed, I guess. Although, I mean, to me, that's not really a huge threat. To the guy who did that, I don't know what your purpose of that was. I mean, yeah, someone's gonna see my face. Oh no. Like, okay. I've had people threaten to tell lies about me throughout the internet. Like, I really give a fart. And another thing I find a little silly is that sometimes when you're having people commission you, some of these people act like they have the IQ of a 4-year-old and can't form coherent thoughts and ideas, and it's like you're talking to a toddler who just learned how to enunciate words. And I don't mean this in any mean way. I mean it in like you're working public service and you have an absolute moron come up and ask you the dumbest questions humanly possible in the stupidest way possible. Now, I myself can be considered a little slower than your typical person, and I easily get confused, so I can totally understand where certain moments can cause confusion or disruption, or someone may just ask a question that sounds a little silly, because I do that myself too. But this is just like a new level. It's almost exactly like working food service. And this is a good example of why I'm making this video completely anonymous, and I'm not pointing out any usernames or people I know who have been in this exact situation that I'm speaking about. Because, yes, I know inherently it's mean to be making fun of people, but also as someone who's had to suffer through it for the past 4 years, I have a right to complain and bitch about it. Shout out to that one guy when I said it's time for payment, and he said, "What do you mean payment?" That was the absolute highlight of my artistry, because that was a full body colored scene, shaded and everything, and homeboy for real went, "What do you mean it's not free?" Situation number 5. For context, I want everyone to know that every situation I'm talking about in this video has happened to me at some point throughout my artistry career, and this one probably was one of the funniest ones I've been through because it was so ridiculously stupid that I can't help but chuckle at it. Someone had commissioned me, and by the way, this person was an adult, so I thought this was going to be, like a normal commission. Loud incorrect buzzard. I had a situation with this person where they didn't want to pay me at my sketch. They wanted me to finish it before they paid me. And then so basically I was like, okay, you can put half down now and half down later. And so what ended up happening is they didn't pay me at all. And I finished it and I was like, hey, where's the payment? And they were like, well, because of the, paying up front and then paying the other half later, I didn't feel comfortable sending you any form of payment, and I'm simply not going to. And so I was like, well, that's not going to work out, and I'm going to have to put you on a blacklist, and you're not going to be able to commission me again. And he got so offended by that, he told his parent figure to message me, and I was like, what? And this was on Discord, so I just got a random friend request, and I was like, okay, who's this person? So I accepted it, and it was this person's mother, quote unquote. Now, I don't know if this was his real mother, I just think it's funny. The context of the situation is funny. And so this mother figure was like, how dare you make my son uncomfortable? And oh my God, it was the funniest thing I've ever read. And they just kept going, and I was like, what on the world? It was so silly. Friends, if you have ever come into a situation and you're an adult and you feel the need to either create a mother figure or have your mother, which the latter is extremely concerning if you're an adult and you need to do this, to message someone because you're unhappy with how a commission is going because of something you did on your part, may I recommend intensive therapy and possibly a psychiatric ward. I'm going to stop listing off situations now, and I'm simply just going to rapid fire some other things that have happened to me while I was taking commissions or while I was commissioning other people. I have had people take my artwork without paying me, put them as their profile photos, and post them on Pinterest, and then claim that they created that artwork and that my speed paints were AI generated before the big AI fad. I have had people call me a zoophile because I draw furry art. I had someone tell me I was a nudist because I drew their character without clothes on. Take note, they didn't specify they wanted them with clothes on. And I don't mean with genitalia, I just mean in the classic fursona, no clothes, it's an animal type feel. Nothing inappropriate. And they were like, oh my God, you drew my thing naked! This isn't this person's fault, this is just a funny circumstance. I had someone who was colorblind tell me that the color red was in fact not the color red, and that I was the colorblind one, and we had a prompt argument, and then when we found out that the other person's red was in fact not the correct red, he was like, oh my God, you're right! And then that is how we found out he was colorblind. That's the end of my silly, goofy situation video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Also, by the way, this does not mean I hate people who take commissions, nor do I hate the people who commission me. It just means I've had some silly, goofy situations happen, and I just wanted to rant about them. I'm poor, and I need my commission money. I'm a geologist. I don't make bank, I make rocks.